guys! Today I'm going to review Death Wish 2.
Kersey, is that Carol?
When murder and rape are the crimes, Bronson is the only punishment. Charles Bronson, Death Wish 2.
Death Wish 2 came out in 1982 and it's a sequel to the 1974 movie Death Wish. And this is the second of 5 sequels in the film series. They also made a remake starring Bruce Willis. In Death Wish 2, Charles Bronson returns. He was 61 at the time. Also, the same director from the first film returns, Michael Winner. The screenplay was written by David Engelbach and music by Jimmy Page. The film runs 88 minutes and cost $8 million. Brian Garfield, the author of the original novel, was so unhappy with the film that he wrote his own sequel called Death Sentence. He's quoted as saying they made a hero out of the character instead of a sick man. The film was also criticised for its violence and its rape scene. The film stars Charles Bronson, Jill Ireland, Vincent Gardenia as Lieutenant Frank, who was also in the first film, J.D. Cannon, and Anthony Franciosa as the police commissioner. So this is a sequel to Death Wish that came out in 1974. So there's an 8-year gap between both films. So in this film, 5 guys break into Paul Kersey's house and kill his housemaid, rape her, and they also get his daughter as well, and she ends up being killed. So it's sort of like the same formula as the first film. Yeah, there were nasty twats in that bloody film, Phil. Almost as bad as that bloody village you used to live in. No bones, there were worse in my village. And it's great to see Charles Bronson back in the part. He was 61 when he made this film. And he still looks fit looking. You wouldn't think he was 61-year-old. Eh? He was 61? He should be getting his fucking pension. So Paul Garfield, who wrote the original novel, he didn't like this film. He thought they changed the character into sort of like a hero instead of a sick man with mental problems. So this is a much more violent film than the first one. And it has a shocking rape scene. And there was loads of controversy about this film.
A shoddy sequel to Michael Winner's thriller of 1974. Offensive and ridiculous by turns, Winner directs in his customary slapdash manner while the dialogue is farcical.
So there was an uproar about Michael Winner making this film so violent. And he got a lot of criticism for it.
It is a tragedy that a British filmmaker should make such an appalling piece of nonsense, and it should receive general distribution and indeed as much attention as this film has received.
There's even an interview on YouTube where he's getting criticised because of his violence in the film, especially the rape scene, saying it was exploitive.
To coin a phrase, that Death Wish 2 was Barbara Cartland with blood. Now, let me just expand on that one little bit.
Yeah, she was a right bloody miserable cow who did the bloody interview.
All of whom wanted to make a buck. Go on.
You want to make a buck, that's why you're here. You're making a buck.
And this film got a lot of publicity. All the film magazines, they had articles about the film, showing photographs of it, and going on about the violence of the film. So it was a really big thing at the time. And critics seem to hate it. So although it's not as good as the first film, I still consider it to be an underrated film. It does have its moments. For instance, there's some really great night footage, very tense action sequences. And the footage at night make the city look really dangerous. Reminds us a lot like Taxi Driver from the 70s. Even though this film was in the 80s, it looks at times like a 70s film. So Michael Winner directed these action sequences really well, I thought. Like the first film, this film addresses the idea of revenge, whether it should be done. And I have a kind of controversial idea that if you're pushed to extremes, then you should. For instance, if someone killed a member of your family, you should be allowed to kill them. It's like an eye for an eye sort of thing. You should pay a twats back, Phil. Get yourself a gun. Yes, Bones, I'll order a gun from Amazon. Another nice thing about this film is Vincent Gardenia, who was in the first film. He's also in this film, playing Lieutenant Frank. But it's great to see him in the film, so it like gives the film a lot of continuity with the first film.
He killed 9 people in New York City 4 years ago.
So overall, I thought this film doesn't deserve the bad reputation it gets. Admittedly, it's not as good as the first film, but like film franchises, the first film usually is the best. So considering this is only a sequel, I think it did a brilliant job. It's very underrated, I thought. And it's always great to see Charles Bronson. He's still brilliant in this film. Jill Ireland was good in it as well. It was Charles Bronson's wife at the time, so he got her in the film. And it's one of them films that make you angry. You're pleased to say these 5 villains get what they deserve. So I really like that. So out of 10, although it's not as good as the first film, I'll give it a good 8. 8 out of 10. But you give it going to do like you.
Yeah, they say this bloody film's crap. I thought it was good, Phil. It's Doctor Who that shit.
So next in the series is Death Wish 3, so I'll be reviewing that at some point, so that'll be a fun film. Okay everybody, bye, see you next time, like, subscribe and share, bye.
Goodbye. Death Wish 2. He's doing it for you.